Welcome, everybody. Super excited to get with you guys. You already know who I am, Mike Porche. I'm here to give you guys an exclusive show with HCI. We're inside the studio now, HCI Studio, because we're going to be diving deep with Jesus Lopez in a great conversation with individuals about our 7 shows, 1 network, and it's going to be a great time. Tune in right now as we go live on the Sports Lounge Media. Welcome to the lounge.
This is a Sports Lounge Media, and I'm very happy to be here with the people behind the Sports Lounge Media team. And, let's meet them all. Let's see what this project is about. Welcome to HCI Live. And first of all, Sarai, how you doing? What do you do for Sports Lounge Media?
Yeah, Jesus, I'm doing very well. So what I do for Sports Lounge Media is I actually am the CIO, and I also am part of the Sports Lounge Media broadcast special session that they do every Wednesday. And then I have a little specialty that I do that's called Tea Time with Sarai, and that's kind of my job titles here with Sports Lounge Media.
Well, now let's meet Marshall. Marshall, what do you do for Sports Lounge Media?
So on my side, Wrigley is just an NFL page, but we go deep into fantasy football. So,
all right, Mike, what do you do for Sports Lounge Media?
Yeah, I'm Mike Porche, COO of the Sports Lounge Media. I do all the operations that go along with the Sports Lounge Media, along with my co-hosts on Wednesdays. We go live every Wednesday, and we talk all sports.
Well, now let's meet Mark. And Mark, what do you do for Sports Lounge Media?
I am the president and CEO of Sports Lounge Media and co-host of SLM, along with being the host of Grand Slam Lounge.
Great. Dupree, what do you do for Sports Lounge Media?
I do digital marketing with Sports Lounge Media. Also, I co-host on Wednesdays as well, and also help with the audio as well for Sports Lounge Media.
Now let's meet Jonathan. Jonathan, what do you do for Sports Lounge Media?
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Hamilton, and I do the SLM bets, and we also do Faithful Fridays now. And I help you know where to place your bets and try to make you some money.
And I am Jesus Lopez. I'm the official voice in Spanish for the Vegas Golden Knights. I do also UFC, boxing, soccer, and I cover most of the sports. In Las Vegas, I am the program director for Deportes Vegas 1460 AM, and it is a pleasure being here because we do have great news for you. And believe me, what we have to tell you is going to change the way you see sports. So let's move on to questions and find out what Sports Lounge Media is about. Mark, what moved you to start this project with Sports Lounge Media?
Thank you. Sports Lounge Media was inspired from the love of sports, not just one physical sport, but actually all sports. And for me, it was a escape haven when it comes to a mental health with anxiety that I'd battled during COVID, and having the opportunity to work with Mike, who he and I have been great friends, and I would actually consider him as a brother. And having this opportunity and being able to take it to next level is what I've looked forward to. We have actually, when it started as just something, like I said, as that escape haven. But what it has done and what it's becoming, we actually were able to bring Dupree on and have the opportunity to get his help with what he does in the backgrounds, and also his knowledge with his sports that he takes care of. But no, and I'm thankful having every person here. And I'm also thankful for the fact that I've been inspired to create this because it's what we love.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. Dupree, what inspired you to be part of this project?
Yeah, well, to piggyback on what Mark said, I was already here in Las Vegas doing audio and learning digital marketing with Mike when he moved out here. We've been friends for a while now, since California when we were in high school, and I just saw their vision to make this possible, to make it happen. And with the sports that we covered, with all sports, not just NFL, not just basketball or baseball, but even the WNBA as well, because we're trying to cover that as well with the sports.
Thank you, Dupree. Thank you. All right, Mike. So, what makes Sports Lounge Media broadcasting unique? Compared to the niche that it's established on. What makes it different?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jesus. I mean, I think when we first started, we focused a lot on football, right? And as we're focusing on football, we ran into a couple of things of, football ends, and then we have to talk about, you know, um, whatever is out there, OTAs and things like that. We have to wait for those things to happen. Running into those type of things, we found ourselves, Mark loving baseball, myself loving basketball as well. We could cover those as well during those off seasons. So then we really turned into us doing all sports. So then when we went into all sports, we did talk to a few people that said that you can't. It's kind of hard. You have to stick to one thing, But we looked past that, created a vision beyond that, and then we said, let's take it one step further. Let's not just be all sports, but let's access to some specialty things. Let's do some bets, and having an opportunity to do bets. Let's create a place to where people could do fantasy. And then some other things that we have that we'll talk about later in the show is we just started adding new things to take us further and set us apart from everybody else. So I really love the business plan that we have created, and we're in the direction that we're going.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. Now moving with Marshall. Marshall, tell us about the shows. What are the benefits, for people who, visit Sports Lounge Media, social media platforms, or the website? What are those benefits, Marshall?
Absolutely. Good question. So for me and for my show specifically, like I said, we handle fantasy football. Besides my future wife, I've had three loves in this lifetime: sports, football, and fantasy football. And I kind of combined all that, and we go into real depth when it comes to fantasy football. But we are also there for the beginners, for the people that have not experienced it full force. We do help you get started. But for the more experienced guys, we do go into depth into numbers and analytics, and we really hit it on the nose. So
thank you, Marshall. Sarai, this is a very special question for you, because what can the show offer the female market? What can they find on Sports Lounge Media?
Yeah, so I was talking with Mike and Mark one day, and I said, "Hey, why not try to be more attractive towards the women population?" And so what we came up with together is Tea Time for Sarai, and it's going to be all about cheesemate, right? Most women here love the cheesemate. So it's something that I'm creating to where they can come in for all the big announcements, everything that's going around the league. It also will bring in a little bit of fashion from everybody's fashion perspective, all the players that come in, all the cuties on all the teams, and then also like all the female, the wags, we call them wags in the league. And I think they just bring so much inspiration. But I also, I just want to inspire women to really get into this market, into sports, because I think there's room for us all here. So I do Tea Time with Sarai, and then I also co-host with Mike and Mark on Wednesdays for Sports Lounge Media. And this girl knows a little bit about football and basketball, baseball, so I kind of bring a girl's perspective on that as well.
Sports and fashion, that made me think of 1988. Florence Joyner Griffith, and the way she used to dress before every race. She at that moment was the fastest woman in the world, the fastest woman in the world. And she created a whole line of fashion for sports, for girls. Will women be able to find those kinds of outfits and news about fashion in sports?
Oh yeah, I definitely, I follow a couple of creators on all platforms, and I do see a big market starting to, because most clothing, right, is all about jerseys and things like that. But I think there's a lot of women that are coming up with a lot of cool designs that I'd like to, showcase on, Tea Time with Sarai for sure.
Thank you, Sarai. I'm sure people will be tuning into your advices. That's for sure. Mike, moving back to you, I have this question because it's crucial to understand how hard it is sometimes to land a project. So what was the biggest obstacle that you found along the way to make this a reality, and how you overcome it? How did you survive the obstacles that you found during creating this project?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think one of them was, for me and Mark was, being that, this is not the only business that he has. He actually has a job himself, and I, an entrepreneur myself. It was discipline and consistency for us. We went 3 times. We were going 3 times a week, and there was times that we would miss, and then our fans and our community would miss us on those days, and it would be crucial for us. So how we overcame it was to build something that we just built, being able to have a show every single day and having somewhere where people can go see their fantasy, go check out their bets, go see the real things that people don't have. They can go find it with us, and then us just with discipline and consistency, you reach every goal and achievement.
Thank you, Mike. Mark, landing a project, it's hard enough. And sometimes when you talk about new ideas, you find people who's very obtuse when it comes down to, see the truth behind a good idea, a good project. But here you have a team of specialists that makes it easy to create a project like this. So what was the biggest obstacle that you found in this?
The biggest obstacle was, like Mike said, was consistency. When you have only 2 people on a show and we're trying to create something, it makes it difficult when a person's down or anything like that. For us, I know, as I shared earlier, that big obstacle that I struggled with was anxiety with mental health. And for me, like I said, it's become that safe haven. And so having that opportunity, if it wasn't for the fact being that God has given us the chance and given us the opportunity to pull through with this, and just being patient and diligent and making sure we're being consistent. We've lived our life with a lot of challenges. Every day we have a challenge, and we've tried to plan accordingly. And so that's how we've been able to overcome those obstacles. I've lived my life off of the 5 whys and also the 5 Ps. The 5 whys is going to be, you have to find what the root cause, where are you going wrong? And it usually takes on average about 5 whys. So if something's going wrong, you have to ask yourself, why? Well, once you get to that answer, why did that happen? What caused this? So you're always looking at those whys. With the 5 Ps that I've learned to live off, and something that my pastor helped instill, and that's proper planning prevents poor performance. That's definitely a tongue twister, that is for sure. But we've been able to plan accordingly. It's taken us about 4 to 5 years now to get this going. But I know God has done everything He can and everything He's entailed, because He's given us the clarity and vision. So we're just trusting God for all that He has for us and making sure that we're doing what He's creating to do, because if it's not for Him, we wouldn't have anything.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark. And also, I'd like to ask Jonathan about it. Did you find on the path, any obstacles to become part of this? Because when I look at you, I see nothing but numbers around you and algorithms and, probabilities. Your experience is a vast experience. So did you find any problems, becoming part of this project?
Yeah, so the big thing is kind of seeing where I fit in, right? How do I help out the team and not just take, right? For me, I want to contribute as a whole and help this grow, because it's still very much a laying foundation, and we're here to build a tower and then build a whole city after that, right? This is one of the most unique platforms I think that anyone can bring together, because you don't have to go to multiple different outlets to find your sports needs. You're going to one place and getting everything that you need in one area, whether that be on any social media platform or our website. Your access to everything here. The overcoming is going to be what we've already touched on with the consistency, but we've kind of nailed that. We have the key pieces for our team members, and straight ahead from here on out, I think it's going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be wonderful. So yeah.
Down the hill. Excellent. Thank you very much, Jonathan. So now let's ask Sarai. Sarai, what is the most rewarding aspect of your broadcast?
Yeah. So I think the most rewarding thing is really just building a community, right? So I think Sports Lounge Media is huge on building such a community where everybody's involved, right? So where we can take different opinions, different perspectives, and just really provide that educational experience for everybody that's subscribed to our YouTube or those that follow us on all social media platforms. Like the team has mentioned, there's different niches for different shows. And I think it's super important. And it allows a lot of people from different demographics to just kind of plug in. If you like bets, you'll definitely, want to tune into John's show. If you like fantasy, you'll tune into Marsha's show. If you like anything related to the Eagles, you'll kind of tune into Down South Philly or Patriots, Kins Pats Hawk. There's just so many shows that can provide so much information. And really, it just brings in everybody all together to really kind of be part of one thing, right? Which is sports. And I think that is so important because there's not really a place that just allows that and allows everyone to have that safe spot.
Thank you, Sarai. So they say one of the most hardest things to build is trust. You can build anything really fast, but nothing like trust. So the question for you, Mike, is can people trust, when they visit Sports Lounge Media for advice about sports, knowledge, probably odds?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things, also, trust within our group too. One of the things that I grew up realizing and being raised in, and was that you got to live your life like a three-legged stool, right? And when I say this, hopefully you guys grasp this, is that in any healthy relationship, whether it's with each other, with other people, mother, brother, sister, spouse, whoever it is, you got to live your life through these three rules. And the last one, which is the one we're going to touch on, is trust, is the most difficult one, right? So the first one is healthy communication. Can we communicate healthy, right? Can we communicate to other people in a healthy manner? Anybody can communicate, but can you communicate in a healthy manner? That's number one. Number two is time, right? The more time we spend with each other, I believe that we'll get to know each other. We'll get to know, we can finish each other's, sentences, the more time we get to spend, we know, and we're vulnerable with each other. We're able to, really know each other at that depth level, right? And the last one is, and you look at time too. Let's just look, if you have a wife, right, you never spend no time with, how would you really know that person, right? So, and then the last one, as you spend more time with that person, you get to know them. The last one is trust. Now, this is the most crucial one. I believe that trust is freely given. I don't believe that it's earned, right? If you're thinking about a healthy relationship, right, and if you think about a healthy relationship, you have to freely trust, just as Jesus trusts us each and every day. Every time that we mess up, he puts himself in position to trust us again. And I live my life like that. We might mess up. There might be times that we all might mess up on something, right, with other people, whatever it may be, or circumstances and that. But if you want that person in your life, then you'll freely trust them again, right? And so I live my life based on that, and I trust each and every one of them. We're like family. And as we grow together, then people will also outside see that within us, and they'll be able to trust us as well.
So that's practically, the next question. The next question was, what is the foundation of, of your trust? Well, you just explained it very well. All right. Well, Mark, how do you plan to, grow your broadcast in the future? I mean, what's the plan? What do you have ahead of you to make it grow?
The plan is that it's just continuing to grow in a way of through all of our social media platforms, from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We also have Twitch, X, and biggest one actually is our website, which is www.sportsloungemedia.com. We actually take the time. It's creating something that's very unique that a lot of people can't do, and that they don't try to do because they're afraid of the complexity. But the team that we've been able to put together and that we have, that's been established, and we continue to look forward and growing. And that is going to be that we're trusting each other. And no matter, again, those obstacles, all they have to do is focus on what they have for today. And so all you have to do is just going to the website, because again, you're having those many different things, and you're going to see blogs, you're going to see obviously new videos. We also have new things coming out. And one of the things that just started recently is primetime sports, which has to do with all the live shows. We have a great host with that, with DP and his partner Dom. They take their time and they go live on every primetime sports when it comes to football, Sunday night football, Thursday night, and even as we're going to see Black Friday come up here soon. But the big one, I have a lot of respect for them when it comes to this, is the fact is that they're even going live on the international games, being up at 6:00 in the morning, and they bring the energy that is needed. And because I don't know about y'all, I work way too much to have the energy that they have at 5-6 o'clock in the morning to bring those international games to you.
Great, thank you, Mark. And then I have to ask Dupree about this. How often is going to be, the websites or social media platforms? How often are going to be updated with data?
They'll be updated every day that we can update them on time, and especially like with those international games that DP and them are doing, they update right then and there. When it comes to Wednesdays, we do the Sports Lounge Media, and we update that every Wednesday around the dot with fantasy and bets. They try to do that as live as possible, like right on the spot for those with Sarai with T with Sarai. That's mostly when it comes on the Instagram or Facebook, YouTube, X. You look right there, and she'll find those informations for you.
So, question for Marshall. Marshall, can people communicate in live time, or through social media, and ask you about, let's say, the fantasy football teams or something, or how to create one, how to frame one? Can they communicate, like questions, live questions, or email something? Can they be in touch, like directly?
Yeah, so as I had touched on earlier, we've all touched really. We have several different social media platforms, and on my TikTok platform, I actually just created a separate forum to where people can send in questions and start sit-ems and matchup questions, anything really. And I'm right now giving them advice for free. Right now, we are working on a subscription. Something with subscription, but if you are a veteran, I was a veteran, I did 2 tours, I was in the Navy, and so I do offer free advice to veterans. But yeah, so anybody can, like I said earlier, beginners, advanced players, you have 16 leagues, I've been there, and little advice, little help never goes away. So,
well, first of all, thank you very much for your service. And that leads me to the next question with you, Marshall. What will be those benefits? If I visit Sports Lounge Media, what will be like my benefit?
But one big thing for me is everybody here is non-biased. I don't think John can be biased in his betting. I feel like he would lose quite a bit of money. I can't be biased in my fantasy realm because, well, if you draft from the same team, it doesn't work out for you. I feel like we have a lot of understanding at a professional level to say that we are unbiased and we bring the best information forward. There's probably some personalities out there that I could probably say don't operate like that. But I think we take pride in that, and just on a professional level, but we are, we do consider each other family.
Sarai, can you give us a wider aspect of how people can communicate? What is the easiest way to communicate with Sports Lounge Media?
Yeah, so they can visit all of our websites. Our first and foremost, our website is www.sportsloungemedia.com. And there's also a place there where you can actually email, and we get the emails. If you guys have any questions, would like to partner with us specifically or anything like that, you can definitely visit our website. And then also all our social media platforms are also listed both on our website. And then also you can find us all each individually on all social media platforms to connect with us. We'd love to grow and establish more partnerships sponsorships and be with a network. So that's a couple of ways you can definitely communicate with us. Most of the individuals here do go live on several platforms, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you can basically kind of have conversation with them. I know that most of us love to, conversate if they have questions for John or Marshall or anybody else. Usually they can kind of communicate on the lives with us, and so we love that. We love talking to everybody and kind of getting opinions about what's going on for the week for the games and things like that. So yeah, definitely connect with us through all our social media platforms.
Thank you, Sarai. And the question for Jonathan is, do you specialize like in certain sport, Jonathan, or you touch them all? You talk about everything, the odds, are you specialized in certain sport?
Yeah, great question. Appreciate that. So mainly it's going to be NFL, right? So it's going to be football. We're expanding though very fast in all categories for all sports across the board, especially since we have people like Dupree work with the WNBA and kind of giving your analytics on that as well, Dupree. It really helps out with betting. And then Marshall doing fantasy. Him and I are going to be really hyper focused on bantering back and forth and how that can affect my platform as well as his platform, along with betting. So for me, again, my name is Jonathan Hamilton. I'm with SLM Bets with Sports Lounge Media, and we specialize in betting and kind of walking you through the basics, having people learn from a very beginning standpoint, and then having the experienced veterans come in with betting and fine-tuning what they're betting on. We want to make sure that the percentages of what people are winning are going to be something that's going to be enjoyable with our platform. So that retention is going to be longer with us, right? It's going to be more of a dialogue and explanation as a point to maybe some people that put out the information but don't understand why they're betting that. I want people to really dive deep into why they're investing their funds, their money, and not only gaining a financial aspect out of this, but a family and an area where they can grow with being able to trust us. I think this has been a phenomenal opportunity that I've been able to be a part of. I'm very grateful and thankful. I thank God every day for that, as well as my team members. And they are very much like family, like how we had said earlier. We got here in Vegas and I gave them all a hug and it just felt comfortable immediately. So that's how we want it to be conveyed to you, for all the viewers out there. Be comfortable with us. You can reach out to us on all social media platforms. And we really, really want to expand this with you, but we can only do that with viewership and, our focus.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Dupree, thank you very much. Mark, Sarai, thank you. Marshall, Mike, thank you very much. Well, let's wrap her up. We met the people behind the Sports Lounge Media. And what it means, Sports Lounge Media, is rising the limits on sports knowledge. My name is Jesus Lopez. I am the voice of the Vegas Golden Knights in Spanish, and we hope that you connect with the Sports Lounge Media. Especially go to the YouTube site and please activate the bell and give us a like. We're going to be broadcasting more often about whatever goes on the world, the wide world of sports. And thank you very much for listening to us, for taking a look to the website on the Lounge Sports Media. Once again, my name is Jesus Lopez, Spanish voice for the Vegas Golden Knights, and this was HCI Live.
Well, that concludes it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors that have sponsored us thus so far, and those future sponsors that are going to be sponsoring us soon. Again, a special thank you to Jesus Lopez for giving up his time to be able to interview us here at HCI Studios. And thank you, HCI Studios, for sponsoring us, helping us and sponsoring us as well with this video. And to everybody out there, go ahead and tune in to all of the future things that we're going to be doing at www.sportsloungemedia.com. You can find us there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys soon.